Onlyfarmers.com. You want to sleep
877 cash now.
No, that's we're combining
You
combining
want to
ads.
sleep with somebody that experimented with the corn cob back in the day?
You don't have to be lonely. At
All right, chat.
farmersonly.com.
Which one of you? Which was your vegetable of
Hey,
choice
new
to experiment
Blossom
with?
Cube is out. Fuck yeah.
Whoa.
What would you say?
We're having two very different conversations right now.
Ruby wasn't listening.
Ruby's like, oh, my favorite YouTuber made a video. Solis is like, which one of you out there fucked a corn cob? Anyway, hi, welcome to Bark Bark Meow. I'm sure many parts of that will be cut and or for Patreon. So if you're
I'm excited to watch this Friday.
Yeah, right, me too. Well, wait, no, I'm not. I'm excited to edit this Wednesday.
But
I will say, like, I kind of dread editing because it's such a big project. And then I start, and it's like, we just get in some stupid fucking conversations. And it's always great to, like, go back and listen to them.
You just relive them, and you're like, God,
yeah.
What kind of people are we?
Yeah.
Well, two dogs and a cat. Welcome to Bark Bark Meow Cast.
Yeah, what kind of people are we? We are not people.
We are not. So, I have a couple of topics we could talk about this week.
I'm Solis.
I'm Misha.
I don't know who I am anymore.
No. Do it right.
Meow.
Your name is Walter Hartwell White. You live at
My name is Walter Hartwell. My name is oh fuck. I was gonna do a Catch a Predator joke, but then I forgot his name.
My name's Chris Hansen.
My name is Chris Hansen.
Why don't you have a seat over there?
Hey Misha, why
next
do
to the
you have a seat?
No, not me. Wait a minute.
Guys.
Oh Lord.
Report. And Weatherman Solis. I just had my lights all flicker and my fan turned off, and it's raining and storming outside.
Oh wait, actually I think you guys are supposed to get some pretty rough weather.
Yeah, so if you lose me,
you might have got the
storm.
Why. My friend
watch the second I cut out, work is gonna text me and be like, "Hey,
God.
We lost power. We don't need you anymore."
Hell yeah.
We don't need you anymore.
My friend Cass had a storm yesterday. I wonder if it's the same storm.
We have weather over here. I guess that's interesting.
People have weather?
Montana.
I just walk outside and the sky is like a weird checkered purple and black. I'm not really sure what's up with that.
Why is Montana so fucking big? Let's see. Oh, you do have a bunch of weather right now.
Well,
no, you said weather wolf, man. It's time for me to hit the app up. You said you're in the area of
since we know a place to
Missoula?
They said their exact location last week.
I don't want to say
I left that in the episode, so people might be coming to get you, Ruby.
Where are you at, Ruby?
I'm in White. Yeah, but cut that out.
Oh, you want to cut out this time? Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, I don't care. If I've said it before, I don't care.
You did say it. You said it last week.
You're literally a fucking like stone's throw from Canada.
Yeah. I could drive.
No clue you were that close.
No, we get a shit ton of Canadians here all the time.
Fuck, I want to go to Canada. Let's hang out and go to Canada.
Let's hang out and go to Canada. Yeah.
You do have a cell over Whitefish right at this exact moment.
I'm closer to Canada than I am Seattle.
It
is
nice.
Not rotating anything crazy. It's just a storm.
The lights did flicker though.
Looks
I'm surprised my computer didn't turn off.
I too. You said that like everything flickered, and I was like, "You're still here. Your Wi-Fi's fine."
Yeah, no. Like everything turned off for a second and turned back on, except my computer.
That's wild.
That's so weird.
Okay, it looks like this stuff's gonna move right past it though, in like minutes.
Man, I wanted a storm. I saw that Oregon was getting a hell of a storm, and I was like, "Cool, I live near there," but I didn't get it.
Yeah, Missoula and all that's covered in stuff. Wolf Creek, all that.
Wolf Creek sounds kind of like Wolf Quest, which we will be playing in a couple weeks. We still got to figure out the semantics of all that. Mark and
well, you said we might even do. A, we need to talk to them, but B, you also said you wanted a break during your move.
Yeah, I'm moving. Actually, next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. So I'll be in a different town. Super exciting.
All right, so are we not? Are we not recording next week on Monday?
We can record next Monday. Recording shouldn't be affected. because I'm moving. I won't be at the Afterbark, and I won't be able to like run that. I won't be at the premiere or the Afterbark that Friday because I'll be moving.
Oh, so
next Friday I won't be there.
Not this Friday, next Friday.
Yeah, so y'all will get to see Misha be bucket.
Misha be fuck it.
No. God, we've been over this. He doesn't do that. He canonically has the parts, but he doesn't do that. I don't know what that like serves, but he's got a ween. He just doesn't. Anyway.
So I'm Weatherwolf. Misha is what?
Music mutt.
Music mutt, and then Ruby
Camping
is
cat.
Just a warrior cat.
Camping cat.
Camping cat.
Oh wait, camping cat's perfect.
I'm a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Scout's honor.
They don't call Boy Scouts anymore though. Sorry.
I know, but I am a Boy Scout. I've got the certificate.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just homegrown.
I didn't get to do any of that.
You just okay. Now I have to know. So I grew up as much outside as I did also playing video games. I feel like Ruby, you were more outside than you were inside.
Yeah, I was more outside than I was inside.
And then Misha, what was your childhood growing up?
It was a lot like it wasn't like completely inside. It was a little bit of both. It was like 50-50, I'd say. Or honestly, like maybe like 45-55 cuz like I was playing a lot of music inside was my thing, but I was also in a bunch of sports. And just like normal kid stuff, you know, we had a basketball hoop. I was out there shooting hoops with my brother. We weren't good, but we were out there having fun. And then one of the places we lived had a giant dirt driveway. So we would just ride up and down that on our bikes, see how fast we could go because it was on a hill. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I discovered the magic of Guitar Hero. And then I was inside a lot.
It was weird. So growing up, my thing was just like our family, even like young. My dad played video games and would have controllers out for us to like fake play on. We thought we were playing, but we wouldn't because we were like 2.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to imitate Dad. So to shut us up, he'd just give us a controller, and we thought we were playing. So I mean, like when I got older, you know, I'd play around on the Nintendo 64 is what I really played a little bit more on. I did do a little co-op with Dad back on like the Super Nintendo, but like again, I was like 3 or 4 at that time. I was really young, so I didn't really get what I was doing. But it wasn't like on the Nintendo 64. We rented one weekend Harvest Moon 64. You know,
oh my fucking god, I loved Harvest Moon.
One of the few games that helped spawn all of that farming simulator shit that everybody knows and loves, like Stardew.
Harvest Moon, Magic Melodies.
But yeah, so our family had to have a rotation because of work and school. So we had a rotation of like you get to play for an hour, you get to play for an hour, you get to play for an hour, and then Dad gets it for the rest of the night after dinner. So that's kind of like I gamed a little bit, but like I'd also have like outside hanging out. Didn't have a whole lot of friends, lived out in the countryside, so either friends had to be dropped off or we had to go somewhere. So it was very interesting how like I played games. We very quickly, once the GameCube came out and Animal Crossing came out, that also became a rotation thing for the family. It's like, all right, you're gonna play very early in the morning, knock out like a half hour each. Okay, now come home from school. All right, we got a couple hours before Dad and Mom get home. they go over.
Right.
They gotta do their stuff for their villagers.
It was weird because my parents were divorced, which is not trauma dumping. It's part of the story. And my dad's side had all the video games. So we had like a Wii, we had a PS2, and my mom's side didn't really have any video games. Like we had our Nintendo DS and then eventually a DSi. But it was weird because my mom's side for the longest time was the house with the Wi-Fi. So that's where I got introduced to the internet. But my dad's side had video games. So it was weird because it was like, you know, good things on one side, good things on the other. And I had to like constantly
For me,
swap.
I was on the internet. I wanted to play on Neopets mostly.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And like roleplay on Neopets. Specifically, I wanted to roleplay Warrior Cats on Neopets. However, my mom was like, I don't like you on any online forums at all.
She's a fucking smart person.
Yeah, so she's
My
like, go
parents are
outside.
not.
Get the fuck outside.
Yeah, right.
So our area, I mean, it was out in the middle of nowhere, and it was like get like Dish or DirecTV internet, like expensive as fuck, and it was barely better than dial up. So until like we didn't even really have a home PC until we were 15. So, like not much going on there. And when we did get it, we got literally, I think it was like Netgear, like dial up, $9.99 a month dial up.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do much. Back when YouTube videos actually let you like download, you could almost download the whole video per se. It wouldn't just stop loading after so long. You could actually just let it like buffer the whole way through a video. We'd set up like 5-10 minute videos that we wanted to watch and then go fuck off for an hour because it took that long for the YouTube video to load. Some things that did work was a couple of websites and a couple like really low end games. And I could that's the bad thing is teenager I learned about furry, and that's when I did my whole furry role play on DeviantArt.
Yup.
Text chat, baby.
I learned about it on Flipnote Hatena, and then eventually some other sites that I won't mention.
I remember the problem is like the computer was in our kitchen, which is just a wide open area. So like I'd be out there and you're like, okay, you guys are going to bed. It's like 11 o'clock. Go to bed. And I'd wait till the parents go to bed. I'd sneak out there and log back on and like role play. And then the second I heard noise, I'd smash the power button on the monitor and like try and fucking hide. A couple times I got caught and got grounded. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Just that spawned a random memory of like what being grounded is. You know what the most devastating punishment of grounding ever was?
What?
Kind of like, I don't know if Ruby experienced this with Neopets or anything, but we did have Nintendo DSs and we had Nintendogs. And if you didn't like log in every day and play with your dog or hang out with them, they'd be sad afterward. Or if like you didn't treat them well because they had an internal clock, right?
Oh yeah, we all had a DS.
So like think about like a Tamagotchi style. Like if you got grounded and they took your Tamagotchi away, that fucker would die. You know?
Yeah.
So
to my mom, to her credit, because I'd freak out. I'd be like, "No, you can't take my Tamagotchi away; it'll die." Like that type of shit. So, she'd take my Tamagotchi away, but she would keep it alive. Like she'd play with it.
Mom did that for our Tamagotchis because me and my sister did have Tamagotchis as kids. They would do that and my mom would keep them alive. But when the Nintendo DS thing happened, she didn't understand them, didn't care enough to understand. We would Mom, Dad, don't listen to this podcast, please. Actually, no, just never listen to this podcast, please, God.
Yeah, dude, no.
Never learn about this. We would break into their room and get our DSs open, and me and my sister would take care of our Nintendogs, and then like put the shit back before Mom got home from work. We're like, we can't let our dogs be, we can't. So yeah, that was like some weird grounding shit. It's like, I can't let them die, or I can't let the dogs go without attention and care.
Right. I'm looking for something that has to do, like, that goes with the story. Because I do have a topic for today.
Yeah, so you literally talked about having a topic, and then we immediately went into a personal episode.
No, that's fine, because it's good that you guys are talking about video games, because this technically has to do with video games.
I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now.
Oh, don't tell me about it. I want to be surprised, but I have to wait for my computer.
You can fuck a bear!
You know what I could do? Wait, you're getting a new computer?
I mean, eventually, yeah.
So, we'll have a talk about this now at some point in time this week. So, if I can get a graphics card in my PC, my old PC, and it doesn't have the same issues that it currently has, I could just give you my old PC.
Whoa.
Because it's a very functional thing. It's just the constant, or the very what is it? Not constant. The very randomly video card dying and having to like restart is just frustrating.
What do I have to fix in it?
I think I just need to put in a different graphics card. Legitimately.
I might be able to put my graphics card in there, maybe.
Not from that old ass PC.
What if you put your graphics card in my PC? Ooh.
Stop talking porn to protogens. You're banned.
I'm banned. I'm the one that records these. I'm the one that edits these. You can't ban me.
Shit.
Okay,
He's right though.
there's.
What did
Okay.
I fucking said something in the Telegram and I was like, no wait. We need yeah, I told you to get a job.
Oh my god, that's right. No, because
Told you to
I
get
was telling you boo, and then Ruby was like, I have to work tonight. And I was like, shit, that was bad timing. I wasn't booing Ruby. That's good that
I
they're
know
working.
I knew you weren't booing Ruby. I knew it was a bad timing comment. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna roll with this. No, get a job. And then I was like, wait, if Misha gets a job, that could have impacted the editing the bark. Nope, never mind. You don't get a job.
All right, I found it. I found the thing.
I need you to figure out how to get into investing so you don't have to work. And then, yeah, so you can just keep doing our editing.
I just need to hire him as an editor.
Yes.
Ruby, you just picked up a job because you don't have money.
That's one of the reasons, but
But
I'm trying to tell you this is not a good financial.
no, that's not why I picked up a job though. I like working a day job because it gets me out of the house and stuff.
that's fair, yeah.
I thought
Like,
your day
I-
job was suit making.
Yeah, that's my job. I make
That's
fursuits.
in the house though.
No, I
So,
understand, but it's like, damn.
Damn.
I don't know. I love this remote work from home. It's so good. Ruby's been making for many years.
Oh yeah, true.
I've only been doing this for less than 6 months.
I've always had a day job on top of suit making. One, it takes some of the pressure off, but two, it just continues to get me involved in my community. It gets me out of the house. I like bartending. I like serving people. It gives me content for my art. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah, that's fun. Social. Typically, as long as things are going good at the bar, it's a pleasant environment. Typically,
No, even if
cheery.
it's not, then it's just content for art.
The fuck?
Oh, yeah,
I was
dude.
working and some guy came in and got in a big ass fight.
Yeah, that's a part of it.
Yeah, if there's ever anything you could tell us, man. Some good stories.
I mean, right now I don't got much, but
Nah, it's all good.
I certainly have some from Demitas. That's how I met Ross.
Oh, at a bar?
Well, while I was working at as a barista.
Oh, no shit. Wait, I feel
Yeah,
like you told this, but my brain's like not.
All right,
thinking
I'm gonna
about it
put my
anymore.
topics away.
No, bring it back out.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's fine. If we
Shut
want to
up.
keep
Go
talking,
ahead.
we
I don't
can.
want to
Bring
talk
your
about
topics
this
up.
anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. So we were talking about video games, and one of those video games is Pokemon.
Pokemon.
And this last weekend was the Pokemon Worlds. So
Oh,
yeah, big
I
tournament.
Wait, was
What?
it Pokemon or was it? Damn it! There was some sort of I thought it was a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh guy ran a non-meta deck that was crazy.
That might have been
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh because I didn't hear anything about that with Pokemon. And the top 8 was pretty meta heavy, but we're going to talk about that because I actually do want to talk about the Pokemon TCG because something pretty controversial happened this weekend, which completely altered how the tournament would have gone. Yeah. So, how it works is day 1 is purely Swiss. Everybody faces a bunch of people depending on how you do. And then if you win enough times, you get to make it to day 2. And day 2 is the same thing where it's Swiss, and then it gets narrowed down to the top 8. You know, it's a top 8 bracket. That goes how it goes, leading up to a championship, which happens on Sunday. So,
Yes.
the top 8 for this Pokemon Worlds was, I'm going to say the name and the decks. You guys aren't going to know what the decks are, but yeah, I'm sure you guys will notice a theme. So, it is Pokemon, so you might recognize some of the names. So, the first bracket was Jesse Parker with Miraidon EX and Michael Davidson with Regidrago V-Star. And then it was Fernando Cifuentes with Iron Thorns and Ian Robb with Regidrago V-Star. James Goring with Raging Bolt EX and Sinosuke Shiokawa with Roaring Moon EX. And then Isaiah Bradner with Regidrago V-Star and Raz Wolf with Regidrago V-Star. So I'm sure you're
as you
noticing
can tell,
a theme.
there's a lot of
A lot of Regidrago running around. So, the top 8 happens. Jesse is able to beat Michael. Ian Robb, remember this name, is able to beat Fernando Cifuentes. James Goring loses to Sinosuke, and Isaiah Bradner loses to Raz Wolf. So the top 4 should be Jesse Parker versus Ian Robb, and then Sinosuke versus Raz, is how it should go. However, during the match between, who was it? It was Jesse Parker and Michael Davidson. That match wraps up. No, it was the match between Sinosuke and Raz in the top 4. That match happens. Sinosuke is able to win 2-0.
Right.
There is an announcement that Ian Robb received a match loss for unsportsmanlike conduct and was kicked out of the tournament, meaning Fernando Cifuentes, he was kicked out in the top 8 of Worlds, meaning Fernando Cifuentes was able to go into the top 4 against Jesse Parker, was able to beat Jesse Parker, and then was able to beat Sinosuke in the finals to take Worlds.
So he lost to a guy, and then because the guy was stupid and did something, which I'm going to ask you to actually tell us what it was.
I will show a video.
And
I will describe it for the people listening.
Of course, but I'm curious as to, so the guy was able to run it back against the other decks and win?
Yep. He lost in top 8.
Crazy.
And then his opponent received a match loss, and he was able to win top 4 and eventually the finals. He actually had a really bad matchup in the finals and was still able to win, so like props to that guy. What sucks is,
do I have a gentle applause?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. What everybody likes an underdog story, right? And that you immediately become the underdog after you come back into a tournament. Some people are going to say, well, you get another chance. The fact that they win, obviously some people are going to be like, wow, if I would have played somebody else, maybe I would have won. There's a lot of what ifs, right? But I still think it's a generally good story, other than it really matters on what the idiot did to get kicked out of a tournament. We're talking, God, because I don't think Fortnite dancing on the kid after winning is like enough to disqualify, maybe get warned. We're talking like this guy stood up and threw like a slur.
No.
Like what was it?
I will show you here in a second.
The video.
And I do want to say, any opinion I give about how this should have gone or how it should have been handled, there is absolutely no hate towards Fernando, who was the person that was able to come in and win Worlds, even though he lost. Like,
right.
He was just told who to play, and if you get told, hey, you have another shot at Worlds, you're gonna fucking take it, right? Like, anybody in that position would be like, okay. And it earned him $50,000. Like,
oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm in.
I have the video pulled up. Let me figure out which one it is. There we go.
I do see it.
Yeah,
so
I'm watching.
This is Ian Robb.
In a dominant 2-0 victory.
I have no audio
in our
though.
First top 8
That's fine. You don't need the
World
audio.
Championships. I cannot believe what just happened.
What was that hand?
A jerk off motion?
That's what they're saying. So, keep in
mind. I mean, that's what it was.
The deck he's playing involves a lot of dice rolling, which is what people are trying to claim that was him rolling dice.
Let's look at that again.
But like, look at that face.
Nah, dude, he's milking some udders right there.
Yeah. So, one of the reasons he received a match loss is because this is a worldwide event, and this could be interpreted by many different cultures to mean many different things.
Well, I was gonna say, how many people saw that? Tens of thousands?
This was streamed, yeah. I think it was 22,000 people were watching the finals on Sunday. So some fraction of that was watching this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, alone now that it's been shared everywhere.
Yeah, that is what he did. And keep in mind that he won 2-0 very convincingly. He beat Fernando pretty convincingly. Let me switch back to the cafe. He won 2-0, did the hand gesture. They signed the slip saying, hey, I won 2-0. We both accept that this is the outcome. And then they took that away and flipped it to a match loss and gave Fernando the win. Now, in my opinion, it should have meant that Jesse had a bye in top 4 and just Ian should have been disqualified. Fernando should not have been promoted to top 4 because the match was over. They signed the slip And signing that slip is basically saying, like, this is the result. This is what happened. Move on to the next round. But they decided, hey, I think part of it was like, hey, we need a top 4 to stream, you know, so let's have Fernando get up there and do it. And then Fernando went on to win the thing, which is, you know, awesome for him.
Well, what's precedence? What has this? I assume there's been disqualifications somewhere in the past, right? No.
Yeah, and normally if it happens in between rounds, like, it applies to the next round. Because, like, the problem is the infraction happened before they signed the slip, but then they signed the slip and decided, hey, actually, on second thought, that was not a good gesture you should have done. You're kicked out. Like,
oh.
So the infraction happened before they signed the slip, but they disqualified him afterwards. So it's like this weird middle ground of, like, what do we do? Because Ian Robb was playing Reggie Draco, and they went against Jesse, who was playing Maridon. Maridon is basically a free win against Reggie Draco, but it loses to Iron Thorns, which is the deck that Fernando was playing. So Jesse lost the tournament. Now, obviously, it could have gone either way with Reggie Draco, but Jesse had a much better chance of beating Reggie Draco.
I like how you said obviously, like we would just know that.
Okay, well, yeah.
Obviously, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, but somebody out there plays Pokemon. But, like, long story short, like, Jesse would have had an easier time beating Ian than he would have Fernando. And he ended up losing to Fernando. So there's a lot of, like, speculation about, like, oh, Worlds would have been completely different, which, unfortunately, that's what-ifism, and we can't do anything about that. I do feel bad for Jesse because he was 13 and I think he might have been 14-0 at this point. Like, he had not lost a single match. And then his first loss is top 4.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's just, you're out of the tournament. So what do we think? Should that have been a match loss, or do you think he was just rolling dice? And should that have applied to top 8 or top 4? And if you need more information, I'm here to help.
Okay, so is the issue whether the clip of him rolling dice, is he rolling dice?
There are no dice in his hand. He's doing a hand gesture.
So no, he's not rolling dice.
No, people are claiming
they're saying
that he
it was
like,
because of his deck. It is
like,
something that, like, resembles that.
Yeah, but his face and, like, his hand motion is also pretty interpreted as, like, him doing a, you know, masturbation sort of deal.
Right, and is he, like, being penalized for bad sportsmanship?
Yes, this was unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well,
Yeah,
and, like, the gesture itself could be seen, like you said, in many cultures. Could be a lot of things, you know, like it was just not good.
Yeah.
Right. I think when you're playing on that high of a level, you should show your competitors the utmost respect.
Yes. And this is also, like, this is it's Pokemon. It's an all ages event. So people of all ages are watching. Don't do
I also
anything
think that
could be
at the end of the
interpreted.
day, no matter where you're competing, one, you always show respect for your fellow competitors, you know, so long as they deserve it, which typically they do.
Yeah.
And two, you be the better person every single time. If you can, it always makes you look better, especially at this level. And three, it's like, no matter what, it's just a game.
Yeah. I also do want to say, like, Ian feels horrible about this whole situation. Like, he's not like, oh, you know, screw them. It shouldn't, like, he feels awful about this.
Okay, so yeah, he got a little heated. He did a dumb thing.
How do we know that? He said it. One of his friends.
Because I mean, I'm all, no offense, but unfortunately, I'm very, you know, unless I saw the apology, I don't know how truthful the apology is. You know what I mean?
He hasn't done, like, a public apology, but one of his friends and fellow content creator that I watch, someone named Tricky Jim, like, basically, because they streamed today, and they were like, yeah, I called him afterwards, and I was like, hey, what's up with this? And, you know, he admitted that he was BMing, which is bad manners, is what that's called.
Yeah, BM.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Like, and so...
I have never heard it called that. So hearing Solis be like, oh yeah, of course, I've never heard it called that.
Solis plays Rocket League. I imagine there's plenty of BMing going on in
BM, I mean, Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite too, yeah.
So have you guys heard of the Olympic swimmer incident?
Michael Phelps or anyone else?
I actually don't know their names, but I saw
okay.
the article and the video. The video is crazy. Actually, you keep talking. I'll try and bring it up because it's kind of pertinent to this.
My thought on the situation is now the TCG kind of has to do what they have to do, especially with a top 4 needed when it came to putting the other person in, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my thought is that like they kind of had to do what they had to do. They felt like obviously there's enough backlash to be like, all right, we need this to really like be settled. If we don't do anything, this could look really bad. I agree with what Ruby said. Is there's just like a generic, what do you call it? Like respect for your competition. Now I may have missed this. Was that gesture done after the win?
That was done after the win. He won 2-0 and did that gesture.
Yeah, that's gamer boy guy being a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
that's
I think you take the loss.
He is. I think, he's
no,
taking it in stride.
No, and he. I think it's also a good thing to do this. Is like, guys, don't be stupid like this.
Yeah.
Like you can pop off on the internet afterward to be,
no, don't do that either. Just be good.
Yeah, no, he's.
Well, I would like you to be good, but trash talk is trash talk. I'm fine with people being able to like express themselves. That's kind of.
Yeah, I would rather you express yourself in the sport than later on the internet. I think that's tacky as shit.
Well, it's that's what he got banned for.
If you're gonna be one of those people
for doing that.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna be one of those people that's gonna pop off at your opponents, like show them that disrespect, you do it to their face and you deal with the consequences.
I also think I think you're allowed to pop off after you win, but to yourself, don't direct any of that towards your opponent.
Right.
Well, I don't excited that you won.
If you would have
be
hungry
hell
boxed it for Smash players out there, since you made that whole thing, if you hungry boxed it where he just fucking jumped up, threw his arms down, and did flex, oh my god, you know.
I think you're talking about when he threw the chair.
I'm not talking about throwing chairs.
Okay,
but, maybe he jumps up pretty quickly and the chair goes, flying backwards. It is what it is. I think that still doesn't get a ban. I think people they'd be like, hey, maybe you need to calm it down a little bit, but I mean that's a win. You're on the world stage.
Yeah, well that was
but to do a jerk off and a little bit,
during the VGC, which is video games, the player that was representing, I want to say Italy, they won Worlds, threw off their headset, ran down and just celebrated and jumped with the rest of their team, and they were all just celebrating down there. And then he came up and hugged his opponent, and they, did their handshake thing. And that's perfectly fine to me. That's not hateful towards your opponent at all. Doing a jack-off motion, or even, a dice roll is kind of, I don't know. The whole situation is just causing a bit of a mess. My opinion on it is, I think he should have gotten the DQ, because it could be seen as a rude gesture, and the fact that we don't know is half of it. And I honestly think
he admitted he's sorry, right?
He admitted
he said he admitted
it was stupid. Apologies. He hasn't done a public apology. He admitted it was stupid. And I do want to say the only post he's really made about it on Twitter was giving Fernando his full support and saying he deserves this. He deserves the rest of this run. So that was good.
Oh, that's good. I mean, the guy did win it.
Yeah, he ended up winning the whole thing because he was I talked to Fernando and his dad afterwards, and this kid's got heart. He deserves it.
So there's something similar to this that happened in professional swimming.
Okay.
I sent the link, and similar but different. I sent the link in Discord.
Uncut. Yeah, I see it. Am I pulling it up for everybody or?
Yeah, everybody can see this, I think.
Okay.
I would love it's 5 minutes, so I want to cut out the parts that don't matter, but I also do want your guys' raw reactions.
Please find
the
part.
A big thing is to obviously leave the links in the description below and make sure we credit them.
It's probably the most watched part.
It's just long, that's all.
Yeah,
there's really two clips that you need. Here, I'll send a short. We can put this one linked in the video, but I will send a short. Give me a second.
While you're waiting, though, what should I do for dinner?
I made ravioli.
You made ravioli already?
We can react to this short then.
Okay, I want to clarify. I did not make the raviolis. I store-bought them, and I hooked them.
Misha, you fucking disgrace.
Yeah,
Chef.
no.
Chef Gordon Ramsay's like, it's fucking frozen.
Okay.
So this swimmer, the context of the video is that this swimmer does an amazing run. He does a great run, and he is so joyed by the run as seen.
Oh wait,
in...
I heard about this, but I never looked into it.
Yeah, as seen by the he's so overjoyed by his time that he moves over to his after the race is over. He moves over to his friend's lane to give him a huge celebratory hug.
Oh.
So the two competitors are competing against each other, and they hug about it, and he's disqualified, and that's where this picks up. So you can press play.
Got it. Yep. Let me switch back to our game, not the game show, the screen.
What? Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. They're just saying that Owen Lloyd was disqualified.
Was Owen Lloyd the person that congratulated the other person, or was he the one that set the record?
So he's the one that set the record and also celebrated with his buddy.
Oh shit, they both.
That was his problem. His thing was he went over to his other buddy's lane to celebrate.
Shit. Okay.
And his friend who was celebrating with him in his lane, he gets first place, and he's disgusted by his win. He's like, he did a great swim. This is bullshit. Like everybody agrees.
He said everything against it. Yeah.
Yeah, that like he doesn't want.
He's already given the
well, I'm not
down,
sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm not even sure if the kid even accepted it fully, because he even said I wouldn't take it. Like, I'm not taking this win.
Yeah, no.
And it's so bullshit. Like, it's one thing if the guy would have went over there and then like did the fucking like thrust motion at him, like get fucked, bitch, you know, like really BM. No, it's two friends, two competitors, like sharing a moment, and you're gonna disqualify? What the fuck? Read the room, judges. Read the room. It's like I understand. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, let me find the
just sad.
Get over here, F11, full screen this, because we could probably see it right here. Okay, so he sets the record. So he's done with the race. The race is still going on, but he is done.
Yeah, and that's the thing is.
Well,
or maybe that's it.
I see them climb on those all the time. Oh, and then he falls in the. Oh.
What's his buddy?
Yeah.
Congratulations amongst teammates. They work hard together in and out of the water every single day. Such a.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not deep.
Like the person. This person's Buttstroke Swimming is a really funny name, and his picture is just a guy face down in the water. Anyway, let's go back to the cafe.
Uh-oh?
Oh no, we lost Ruby. Shit.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
It just happened. Just happened.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Anyway, yeah. Like, oh man, that's a gray area because they're done with the race, but the race is still ongoing. But they're both done.
I can see it. Nah, I mean...
So I'm under the opinion that
buddy,
it does.
But his buddy was also done. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm trying to say. Is like they're both done. It's not like he crossed in the other lane to somebody who hadn't finished the race yet. Like, yeah, I get the race isn't over, which is probably the gray area where the ref was just like having a bad day. You know, he walked out, his tire was flat this morning, so he decided to take it out on the swimmers. But like. Because technically the race isn't over, so they probably should have stayed in their lane. But they, like you're saying, they were both done racing. Just let them have it. You know, who's it gonna hurt?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a text from Ruby?
Maybe. I'm checking storms right now. I mean, there is a really severe thing. Not really severe, but it's a really decently strong cell on top of Ruby's area right now. So there's a non-zero chance that, oh yeah, that's hail core.
They lost.
So I'm betting it's power.
Yeah,
related.
more than likely. Well, that's okay. But yeah, it was just like the thing at Worlds. The thing at Worlds was just super interesting. Because it's like, I don't know, man. The whole tournament could have been completely different because
Oh no, absolutely.
Jesse's deck had such a good matchup into Ian's and such a horrible matchup into Fernando's.
Like we had a talk about this because I got to hang out in your little backyard baseball stream the other day.
Yeah.
I relate this to baseball. There's like I think it's a ridiculous statistic of like over 30% of people who get like a call overturned. Oh, so like say like what should have been a strikeout ends up being like turned into a ball, and they keep the guy up, and the guy gets another chance at the next pitch or something like that. It like I don't know, it's like some 30% chance that they get like it turns into a positive result when it should have been like an out. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, or like it's a pop up. It should be an easy catch. The outfielder drops it though.
Yeah.
And it's an error. And then literally the next guy comes up, even though morale and everything based around it, you should still be able to strike the guy out or do something with it, right? It's like over 33. It's like over a third of the time the next guy up does something, and it's like statistically that's really good in baseball. Anytime you're over a third.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that what would have been an out has now led to typically, I mean, it's usually a run because there's at least one more guy on base now because it was an error. It leads to runs and stuff, and it's just a big baseball thing. So when you bring that into the same level of like the top 8 world championship of a game, an attorney, had that other kid played, who knows who would have ended up where. It changes the entire landscape of everything.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is like Jesse Parker very well could have still lost to Ian, and then we would have still had a similar. Well, we couldn't have had the same result because Fernando lost and then won Worlds, but you know what I mean. Where it's like, because I was rooting for Jesse. Jesse plays the same deck I do. Jesse could have still lost to Ian, and that would have still been fine. But yeah, I do want to say like Fernando played his heart out, and yeah, he lost to Ian, but he turned around and he won against Jesse, and that was a favorable matchup, but the finals was not in his favor in the slightest.
Ruby is sending a video in the Bark Meow Telegram.
Oh boy. And like they played to their outs and ended up winning the whole thing. So like this is not me trash talking Fernando. I think Fernando did great. You're told who you're supposed to play and you go play him.
That's the hail.
Uh-oh. I hear Splat laughing.
That's some quarter-sized hail.
Sax. Oh yeah, editing Misha, throw this on the... Jesus, editing Misha, throw this on the screen. Did they say anything about the power?
I don't know. They may have... We're just seeing all the hail fall.
Yeah.
Ruby's not used to this, I guess.
I feel
That's been very unfortunately for my area this year has been very fucking active since the spring. It's been an active year. Why did my phone stop downloading? What?
Welcome to climate change, where we say famous line, I've never gotten that weather before. And now it's the new norm.
It's still going. Yeah.
Jesus. Speaking of new norm, have you seen that thing on Twitter? The new norm show?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't ever see anything.
Oh, we should do a live viewing on Friday. You know what? After Bark, we're going to watch the new norm.
The new norm on Twitter?
Yes. It is a Twitter exclusive show, and that should tell you enough. I will say, they had a whole season planned. People found the episodes in the synopses. I think it's synopses. And New Norm has since gone private. So it is now officially lost media. I will have to find it elsewhere. It's not lost media, but like I'll have to find it elsewhere. But do you know who Salty DK Dan is? Or Salty?
Not really.
Okay, he's a YouTuber, and he has been like gooning over the new norm. Every time the new norm posts, he was always like, "Norm, I edge to your videos."
Jesus.
And it was so fucking fun. This is like an alt-right thing, so we're allowed to be mean to them. But yeah, it was just it's so much worse than I can describe. There's nothing good about it. Yes. The intro song is an AI generated country song, if that tells you anything.
Oh, I'm doing this right now. Hey, look, it's the time.
Do you have the time?
No, look, it's right here. Is that little pink there that shows up on the screen? That's the hail that you just experienced. Yeah.
What?
I just recorded a screen thingy. I'm gonna send
Oh!
it in so I can show Ruby.
Okay. It
Cause
cracked my
you're
car
all.
windshield. Jesus.
Oh, did it really?
That's what they said, yeah. Well, apologies about that. This might end up being a bit of a shorter episode, if that's the case, because Ruby has no power. It's only round 3, and they haven't bought the door yet to get to the power box, so we're waiting on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, stupid zombies joke. Solis, do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to add to the current topics? Anything? You want to do a jerk off motion on camera next time you win a major event? If you're watching this, don't do a jerk off motion on camera if you win a major event. It's not good.
Fucking no. Go out there like fucking. What's that musical artist?
Start with that.
Little. No, what was Nas X?
Lil Nas X.
Go out, just pop off, and then just start like grinding on a dude immediately.
Go up there, kiss the nearest guy.
Just go up there and I'm gonna. I'm getting laid tonight.
I'm getting laid tonight.
Come to room 308. The winner.
God.
Do you think the WCG winners pipe? Do you think
WCG?
Because like it's just or the TCG's winners, the world's championship winners. Just like because like there's a concept, right, of no matter what, you're a winner, right? And typically being the top dog gets you privileges.
That's true.
You'll fucking win. You're all well. It depends. How many? Now I have to know. Are the TCG players even old enough to drink? Because like, if you fucking win that shit, you go hit a bar up after that, and you throw a fucking party, right?
Yeah.
And then
TCG is split up into juniors, seniors, and masters. Juniors is little kids, seniors is like teenagers, and masters are adults. So like we're talking about masters here. So they are. Unless they're 18 to 21, then you're not allowed to. But like most masters are allowed to drink. I actually think Fernando is not old enough to drink, but he's also from Chile.
So
and
you might be able to drink in Chile, but not in
lower
America.
drinking ages. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. It did take place in Honolulu, Hawaii, so they gotta follow those rules, unfortunately. So he might not actually be able to drink till he gets back home. But
it's just the concept of like the winner, though. Like, come on, you gotta be able to go back. You're taking somebody back to the hotel room, right? Right.
right.
Now I have a question for you, just in the Pokemon sense, because arguably it's always seen as the younger, even in video games, esports, like it's these like 15, 16-year-olds that are just fucking ascendant gods.
Oh, they're crazy.
That are just amazing. It also goes for almost all strategy games as well. Is there an inter-league? Like, have they ever done like let the masters play against the whatever the fuck you just said? I already lost it.
Juniors and seniors. They haven't done it like sanctioned. Like if you play at locals, like they try and split it up, but sometimes they're like, we don't have enough juniors or seniors, so we'll just put you up against a master for this.
I think it should just be like an exhibition thing, though, where it's like, all right, we're gonna take our top dogs and have them play each other.
The problem is if you're playing official events like locals and like Pokemon sanctioned things, you're working towards championship points, which unfortunately is abbreviated to CP, and we really got to find a better abbreviation for that. But I know every time I see Pokemon players posting about that, I like my body takes a screenshot and I'm like, shit, no, they mean championship points. Because it's like, I got enough CP to make worlds, and it's like, whoa, buddy, you gotta reword that. So everybody is competing for championship points at these different events. So if you have younger people going against older people, that could be a free win for the older person.
Exhibition. Well, exhibitions like Logan Paul fighting Mike Tyson. It's not a real. It's not supposed to be a real fight.
Yeah, if they did like silly little tournaments like that, that'd be fine. But they can't do it with like a normal locals and like a normal tournament.
I feel like a normal local tournament could actually fucking organize a little exhibition match. Because it's more up to the people to like set it up. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely
no,
fine.
I
It can't be done through Pokemon. Unless Pokemon was like, hey, this is not going to count towards Worlds. Then they could do it.
Well, see, what I'm thinking is at Worlds, they should do like a fun little thing on one of the days. Like, why not? Because I would be intrigued to see if some of the younger people, because they're in a different bracket, could still technically be better than the people in the Masters bracket.
No,
Wouldn't it be just interesting to see?
Yeah. I know that Worlds and like bigger tournaments have side events, and it's possible that those side events that could happen, they could just have one of those. Because like if you're doing bad in Worlds and you end up just dropping, like let's say you lose the first 3 or 4 games, like you're not making day 2. So a lot of people will just drop, and then there's side events you can do instead. So it's possible that those side events are not split up by age. I don't know because I've never been to a big tournament like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does a lot of the same thing. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Is also split up by age. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not split up by age in like locals and everything. So that's an all ages thing. But as soon as you get to a regional, they have what's known as Dragon Duels, which is like, that's the kids event. So you have the Dragon Duels and then you have the actual like the adults. So that's split up. But yeah, there are some kids where it's just like you watch them play. And it's like, how the fuck are you so good at this game? You're like 8. What the shit? I was like, the juniors, one of the decks was Ancient Box, which is another deck I play. And watching him play that deck, and I was like, what the fuck? This kid knows the deck better than I do. What the hell? This is bullshit.
Knew exactly the contingencies of if I get this card, then I need to go this way. And if this happens, then I gotta do this to do this.
Yeah, they're like 10 steps ahead. It's like, how are you thinking that far ahead?
It's because they are good.
They are very good.
And we're average.
Very much so. I wish I was better, but I'm going to start playing a lot more this season. So hopefully.
Speaking of fucking, I think sometime Wednesday is the end of the closed beta for Spectre Divide. So I'm like, say Ed.
Oh.
I will say the difference between a few, like almost a week ago to now, the amount of new players that have closed beta access, man, I was good a week ago. Now I'm pretty fucking amateur.
No.
God damn it. Because there's no MMR and there's no ranking system, so you're just squatted up with whoever. And some of these people are real good CS, like old CS players and shit, and like they're making me feel bad.
They're also kids on summer vacation that can just queue up for hours.
Well, a lot of schools are going back in right now. It's almost August. It's like over mid-August now, so a lot of kids are back in school. But you are correct, though. Like, it doesn't matter. There's more people getting let in, which means I'm just getting stuck with more people that are... It's vice versa. So I get some people that are on my team that are gods, and they carry, and I'm not the one carrying anymore.
Damn.
Like... I know the game better than a lot of people because I have more hours than a lot of the people in the game right now. Just because I've had it since the stress test the weekend before. So like I have almost 30 hours into it. There's some people that only got it like yesterday or their code a couple days ago. Yeah. And they're pushing like half my time. But they are just so much more mechanically better and or have just more experience in shooters than I do. And it shows.
God.
I'm making smart plays, but I'm not finishing off kills and stuff, and they're just fucking head tapping everybody. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It just shows that at a very base level, just being able to head tap in these games just makes a bigger difference than strategy.
Yeah.
But
all right.
That's exactly what I'm doing after this, though, is I'm literally going to squat up and go stream and play that after I eat.
I'm going to start packing and then probably play some Pokemon TCG tonight.
Everybody wish Ruby's car well, because I guess hail damage.
Yeah, that's real rough. Hopefully it's like a small crack.
I don't know. I'm shocked at that. I mean, that's big hail, but like my car's gotten hit by that like 8 times this year, and it hasn't broken anything.
It's just gotta hit it at just the right angle.
That's true, though. Your car can take so many rocks off of it, and then that one little fucking rock hits it right, and it's like, there's a chip, fucker. All right. Well, this might end up actually being one of our shorter episodes, which is like funny because we've done a lot of long episodes.
I was gonna say, I still think we're gonna be over an hour or very close to the hour mark, but because we still got to read the Patreon, which I have pulled up, and so I think we'll be fine.
Bring the broom in.
Bring the broom. Oh God, do I? Okay, I'm turning off Ruby. I'm turning on the broom.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm holding a bomb after last week. Okay, there we go. Ruby is here. Broomby is here.
Bromby.
All right, gamers. Broom's up. Broom's in chat. If you're at work listening to this, grab a broom, hold it up, and then put it right back down. And if your boss questions you, do not answer them. Just be like, what? What are you talking about?
Blank stare. Until they walk away, or you blink. If you blink, then just act like nothing happened and go back to what you're doing.
Disclaimer, if this gets you fired, Bark Meow is not responsible for your firing.
But please tell us about it.
Please tell us about it. It'll be really funny. And write me down as your manager, and if they call me, I'll tell you you're a wonderful employee at your next interview.
Damn.
Yeah. Say you worked for Radio Shack. They can't answer. I'll just say I was a manager at Radio Shack.
So I mean, that's my job nowadays.
Radio Shack?
No, you know what my job is.
I know.
So if it's a closed business, there's a whole thing about that. It doesn't necessarily disqualify you. It just means the company can look at that and go, well, we can't verify it, so we're going to take it with a grain of salt, which means they could just be like, you know what? You said you were a store manager, but we can't verify it, so fuck you.
Yeah, but there's the off chance that they don't. It's up to you.
It's true.
My name is Walter Harwell White.
I thought that was really good. Also, a lot of places will just ask you for your W-2s.
That's true, yeah.
And if you supply a W-2 if you didn't work there at all and you can't supply a W-2, then they may just assume you didn't work there at all. And then you're just gonna not get the job.
I saw this.
No, I saw those TikToks and they thought it was at the time. I thought, oh, that's a really good idea. And then now I know this side of the business. Nah, it doesn't work as much as you think.
No, I know. I saw this TikTok where somebody was applying for a job and they were like, "What's your highest education?" And they're like, "Yeah, I got a high school diploma." And the job was like, "Well, can you show us?" And she was like, "I don't know where that is." It's in my closet somewhere.
That has been like the toughest thing in the last couple months is because school's out and a lot of office staff aren't around.
Yeah.
Verifying high schools because
oh god, yeah.
Some of them are because I've gotten some from some very very small towns. I had one of them where the receptionist was just like a bitch.
Oh hell yeah.
She's like, no, we don't ever give out information. I'm like, no, this is for like a job. She's like, I don't care, and hung up. I'm like, well, I guess I'll call back tomorrow and see if I get somebody better.
Because I'll call back and see if I get somebody that's not a total
because
bitch.
I understand you think maybe I'm a scammer or something like that, but like, nah, like you do not need to be like that. Come on. No, a lot of it's like figuring out what I want to say so I don't come off as scammy. Because I'm not a scammer, and if I say something that like gives you a red flag, then you're like less likely to work with me. That's a pain.
A little bit, yeah. All right, see, we ranted for another 10 minutes.
No, I was gonna say, no. I was gonna say I had a person I did a job. There's like 2 or 3 orders for the same person, and they're employment orders, and the dude listed himself as like head chef or like big titles. At like 2 or 3, I think one of them was a former Michelin star restaurant in California.
See, that needs verification.
And all 3 of the restaurants the dude supposedly worked for and had these high titles in these big like famous restaurants, all of them are closed. So I can't verify it. And I'm like, yeah, I wonder. So, like, a part of me is like, I wonder if the guy is just lying out his ass to try and get a job and like have like a really strong resume.
I don't know. Yeah,
I'll never know. But like, I had that thought. I was like, well, this is closed. Well, this was a really famous restaurant. This was closed. This was a Michelin star restaurant.
God, there was somebody that worked at the supermarket that Splat used to work at, who. I don't think they got fired because it was union and it's really hard to get fired. Nice Spectre Divide playtest, by the way. It's really hard to get fired.
Fuck you.
I got Steve, bitch. It's really hard to get fired. And so
Did you see me in aim labs earlier?
no, I didn't. I think I was doing something
That's
else.
so funny. Dude, during during your little talking thing, I was doing some aim labs just because I need to
I
start
heard you
practicing more.
clicking.
Okay, I was clicking like a fool because I'm trying to get better.
But fucking, so they eventually quit because they're bad at their job. They barely show up or anything, and then they write down management as a reference. So the new store calls and is like, "Yeah, this employee was saying that this employee was saying that you'll vouch for them and that they're a wonderful employee and that you loved having them." And the manager was just like, "No. They were awful and they never showed up to work. And if they did show up, they were late. They didn't get the job."
Literally, I had some really young girl like that had applied. She's probably like I think she was like just 18, 17, like really young, barely able to actually work, legally. I don't think she worked legally for this guy, or like cuz I call him up and it's like some Italian restaurant. The guy was straight up, it was cuz it was like New Jersey. It was straight up Italian, like, "Hey, what, like generic ass accent."
Yeah.
That you can think of, right? And I go, "Hey, I need to do this employment verification." And she had listed that she had worked for him for like 3 or 4 months. And he goes,
Okay.
"What's this about?" I'm like, "It's about a job." And he goes, "Oh, well, I don't want to say nothing." And I'm like, "What? What? Like, okay, no, I just need to confirm this." It's like, "Nah, look, she worked for you for a couple weeks at all, but she really just didn't want to work, so she stopped working here, and I know the family, so that's all I'm going to say, and I don't want to say nothing." And I was
Okay.
like, "Oh, what?
Okay.
Why would you, like, look, you know the family, and you don't want to give a bad reference, so why did you even say half that shit, A? But B, girl, don't put that fucker down. You need to have a conversation, be like,
Yeah.
look, I know things aren't good, but like, my family, just be like, yeah, she's all right. She worked for me for like a month. Like, just collaborate the story with the person because you know them. Like, make
Exactly.
just fucking lie. Have them
Yeah.
lie for you. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
All right, for realsies, we gotta wrap up because now we're back to long episode territory.
Let's go.
Patreons, hello, everybody. Thank you to Blue Pack Wolf. Thank you to Argo. Thank you to Little Man, Ambirion.
Is that the
Naz.
Argo?
It is the Argo. Yeah, Argo pledged to our Patreon. Thanks, Argo.
Damn.
Thank
You're
you
gonna have to give him some crowd service or some fan service for that.
Oh, I do. Thank you to Naz. Thank you to Zombie Brains. Thank you to P. Thank you to Loriafia. Thank you to Simply Lego. Thank you to Landon Yeen. Thank you to Sycamore, Bowie Barks, Heartless Hero, Pip the Badger, Rays, Fio Firefox, Corlinar, Kai Quint, Carnelian, and Steam Pony and Ankara. It is cool that you guys are able to support what we do. And if you are listening to this and are not pledged to the Patreon, but would like to get any of the benefits, such as extra little snippets from each week's episode, unless we somehow say nothing that can't be included in the episode, then you get a sneak peek. Or you get random screenshots of us talking about, oh my god, what were we talking about? We were talking about Vor, I think, and I screenshotted it and posted it to the Patreon.
Oh, yeah,
so,
there's random things that get added
yeah.
to.
If you would like to see any of those behind-the-scene content, be sure to check the link in the description below. And yeah, if you're here for the premiere, hello, thanks for tuning in. If you're not, we premiere these on YouTube at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then afterwards at around 5 p.m. we do an After Bark episode, and this is an extra little episode, which this week we're going to be watching The New Norm. So if you want to see that post-tense, check out YouTube under the live tab, and if you want to tune into an After Bark, be sure to be there around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Unfortunately, we lost Ruby for the little last third of this episode. But yeah. That's all I got. Anything you want to add, Solis?
I just kind of saying the same things you do as always. Thank you all for the love, support. If you guys didn't watch this, we wouldn't do it. And it's just been an amazing thing we've been doing for over a year now, and we're gonna keep doing. Sorry that the Storms beat Ruby out of the call.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but technology is what it is, and sometimes
you should
shit happens.
you should include something like, I don't know if you can find like a very generic like hailstorm or something, or like just throw some random ice at
Oh my
Ruby's
god.
like post edit, something just very memey bullshitty, not high effort like your little space time thing,
Oh,
and
no,
just
no.
have it like take Ruby out.
So Ruby disconnected while we were on the screen tab, so I didn't see Ruby leave. Anyway,
Oh, that's
we
great.
gotta wrap up the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Broomza.